still 4th of August 2020, Tuesday evening in Europe. So, good evening from Europe, good morning, good afternoon guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and this is US Cash Close Market Update, and it's pre-Tokyo Open Market Update. Well, nothing special when it comes to indices. Dollar was weakening after initial strength, so the plan, especially when it comes to the euro dollar, didn't work out. Cable is working in the middle of the triangle we discussed this afternoon, right? So it's gonna be very interesting to see where they are tomorrow morning. Euro dollar retesting this over under, right? I've been watching closely weekly open. Nothing has happened here. Tiny stop when it comes to upper shadow over here. Okay, that's the tiny stop. Then market went higher. So I'm going to watch very carefully what's going to happen, what kind of a development we are going to get during the Tokyo hours. But it's going to be the day PMI day, right? PMI Services Day, and we are going to start already during the Tokyo hours, then European, and then of course US. But before we are going to get the Caixin Service PMI out of the China, we are going to have employment change and unemployment rate out of the New Zealand. So that's why we are going to start with New Zealand dollar. Now, with the latest rally when it comes to the commodity currencies, right? Of course, we are aware of the huge Kiwi dollar rally, but lately, I mean yesterday, Friday, and looks like today we are not going to get back above. Looks like a little bit more of profit taking could be in place. So what I'm gonna to look for, based on the current level we've seen right here, right now, and that's the daily chart. So we are going to switch to the green color, right? Let's switch to the intraday chart. So what I'm gonna to look for is some kind of the failure, either here or a little bit higher. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Well, that was intraday consolidation. We went higher, but we failed. We broke to the downside. Now we are retesting the bottom of that consolidation. Well, from the intraday perspective, we might see the spike a little bit higher, right? We might see the spike a little bit higher towards the 50% of that range. And in that case, we are talking about the levels close to 66, 50, 66, 60 when it comes to the intraday chart, changing to the more color. So let's have a look what we have when it comes to the supply demand. And well, I would say that things looks very interesting right here, right now. And now let me explain you why, right? So my first attempt around the data announcement is gonna to be around current level. If we are still around this level because of this Niagara Fall, right? That could be the case. Okay, so if we are still here during the New Zealandian jobs market announcement, I might try to work with the shorts from here. Now there is an opportunity to try to join the party a little bit higher based on what we discussed, 50% of that range. Why? Well, that's the thing. 1, 2, 1 could push us higher. We might clean some stops, we might retest 50% of that trading range, and there is a possibility we are going to go lower. So when it comes to the New Zealand dollar, looking for selling opportunities, what's gonna be the first target? First target is going to be this demand zone. This zone has not been tested. This zone has not been tested, right? As you can see. So what we are looking for? We are looking for the levels close to 65.72, 65.60. I would like to see stop count below that low, all right, and I would like to see retest of this level. From the intraday perspective, that could be the buying opportunity, guys, for you. That could be buying opportunity, especially if you are going to start to fall from the higher levels. Make your measure after the break 1, 1, 1, right? That could be the equal waves move when it comes to the New Zealand dollar versus US dollar, right? So both sides are going to watch carefully the market here, right? The sellers again at the bottom of the consolidation. In that case, we are talking about the levels close to 66.25. 50% of that consolidation, 66.55, 66.60. When it comes to the buyers, we are talking about the zone, demand zone, somewhere around 65.75 down towards 65.50. That's how I see the New Zealand dollar ahead of the New Zealand job markets data. Now, when it comes to one more cross, I like one more cross here, and we are talking about the neighbors. We are talking about the neighbors, and we are going to discuss Australian dollar versus New Zealand dollar. Here, as you can see, even from the daily chart perspective, we are trying to go higher. And for quite some time, we were discussing that if you are looking for the Australian dollar to be stronger, if you are looking for the New Zealand dollar to be weaker, that could be the cross you wanna watch. So let's examine what we have here, right? Let's examine what we have. What we have here. Now, from the daily chart perspective, we are approaching very strong supply based on the possible over/under, right? Something we also seen to the left. So plenty of possible supply here, but there is a big but. If that was the latest consolidation over here, right? So what we've seen lately in the beginning of the July, it was some kind of the stop count. So at least probably we are going to see some stop count to the upside. So in that particular cross, I'm looking to buy the dips. I'm gonna to explain the dips I wanna see. The first target is going to be close to 110. What kind of the dips I wanna buy? I want to see retest of weekly open, right? Maybe this week low. So in that case, we are talking about the levels close to 107.50, 107. Stops just shy below 107 or below 106.47. That's you know, if you can monitor the position all the time online, I would start with the smaller and tighter stop. If I'm gonna to be stopped out, then I would renew and work with this below 106.47. The first target, as I mentioned, 110 when it comes to the AUDNZD. All right, during the Tokyo hours, we are going to get Caixin PMI services out of the China. All right, so let's switch for a second to the Australian dollar, and let's start with AUDUSD. Well, we've seen lately overall American dollar weakness, right? There was a little bit of the rejection going on towards the end of the previous week, attempt to continuation yesterday, and move back and retest today. Okay, well, the thing is, we are fighting, as you can see, around very significant and the blue lines weekly supply zone. Some stops been taken out, so I do expect that we might see some kind of a little bit deeper pullback, especially that the trend line being broken. So what I'm looking for is for the rejection right here or a little bit higher, and rejection from the trend line over here. So when it comes to the Australian dollar from the intraday perspective, 7.1 8571 7585. That's what I'm gonna to look for the rejection. So let's switch lower, right? And immediately we can see that sellers are going to be visible around this zone we discussed it. So based on this trend line from the daily chart, it could be the bearish flag when it comes to the intraday chart, right? But there is a big but. I do expect the opposite as well, right? I know that the buyers might be somewhere around. There is no change when it comes to the buyers, no change in plan. So 70-40, 70 psychological level as the possible buying opportunity when it comes to the Australian dollar versus American dollar, right? Like this, okay? This type of the continuation. The last one is Euro Aussie, okay? We've seen a little bit of the sell-off today. Good. Why? Because finally maybe we are going to retest levels close to 64, 63.50, levels where I'm looking to buy. If you remember, we were discussing that I was looking to buy previous week, right? It didn't materialize. So the first right now around 64, 63.50. If we are going to break through that level, right, we might see retest of the levels close to 62, 61.50. That's gonna be the second attempt. When it comes to that particular close, I'm not looking to sell. So I'm looking to buy Aussie dollar versus Kiwi dollar. I'm looking to buy Aussie dollar as one of the strategy when it comes to the AUDUSD. I'm looking to sell Australian dollar on a spike versus US dollar, and the only when it comes to the Euro Aussie, I'm looking to sell Australian dollar. Plenty of data, so we are prepared for the Tokyo session, and I'm going to get back with another update around the European Open when the European PMI and ahead of the US PMI. So guys, Australian dollar, Kiwi dollar, some euro, some yen, be careful, don't be trapped. See you around. It was my pleasure to make the update for you. Take care and good night.